Of course.
Jawhead Jungle and the JPL Cho makes his appearance once again, opening up the show, the very first game with nice comfort heroes, the walking ward, the walking way of the dragon, the big boy Cho. We even heard the crowd chanting JPL.
Yeah, this is a very tough draft. At this point in time, Slate just seems to have everything in the palm of their hands. Every single one of these heroes are solid. They can all deal at different situations all by themselves, and they are very individualistic. And you put them all together, it is looking great. Remember how I talked about soft support?
Yeah.
It is not going to Slate after all. It goes over to RSG, who picked up the Estes.
Estes for themselves. I mean, Lolzy did say that he was the top number 5 Estes in Singapore, and we can see today how will he bring this Estes to MPL SG. As we can see the crowd going wild right here. GG to RSG. Good luck to both teams here. Slate and RSG. Abstract and Jace. Take it away, guys.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Vertigo and Abstract, for taking us through that draft. The crowd is hyped. You can hear the Let's Go Slate sneaking into our mics. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, on to the first game we go on to the grand finals. This is RSG going up against Slate.
5 seconds.
Here into Sanctum Island, we have the entire map divided into two. Blue and red. One at the bottom left and one on the top right. The one, of course, that is going to be representing red side in this case is going to be RSG. Diablo, 505, Baby Cakes, Bray, and Lolzy. While on the opposite counterpart, blue side, we have FMM, Sailor, Adamir, Gear, and JPL. All of these heroes and all of these players are starting with their own individual start without anything too crazy. Except for the fact that JPL doing JPL thing decided to go straight into the enemy's jungle.
Yeah, going in the back line, going commando, but he's taking a lot of damage. RSG, I think Bray doesn't feel phased at all. As the Bucks here, you should be able to rotate from one jungle camp to the other very quickly. So Slate is hoping on that. Now, there's something that's breaking the MO right here. Lolzy playing as that Estes.
Definitely not something that we have seen at all. Very much, well, a pocket pick from Outlaw, from Lolzy, and definitely not something that I am expecting at all. This brings down their aggressiveness in the early stages of the game. This is more about the turtle composition. This is really all about that turtling up in order for them to scale over to the later stages of the game.
Yeah, of course, for the side of Slate, there is some form of answer using that Cho, but Unstoppable Force on top of 505 this early on, but take a look at the amount of heals Lolzy can provide. 505 doesn't really need to go back and reset.
There's way too much sustainability all across the board from Slate to RSG. This game really boils down to who is able to survive any fight the longest. And even at this point in time, it's kind of tough to answer the question. But once Estes is level 4, we know very well that RSG will have a massive power spike in terms of that sustainability that I was talking about. As such, they can be a lot more aggressive in taking objectives, but they can't be overextensive.
Yeah, but take a look at where Slate is now. The Jawhead nowhere to be seen, whereas RSG will take up this turtle absolutely free. Adamir using the ultimate to get on out. First turtle goes over to RSG, but Gear is already here. Unstoppable Force going in. Baby Cakes get tossed. Oh my goodness! FMM is the one that gets tossed instead. The Blazing Duet managed to kite FMM away, but Lolzy, oh no, he is here. Gear on single down help. He's unable to connect. On top of that, Gear get out scot-free.
Just by a hair. It is really all about the positioning that that Gear has put himself in. Definitely tough to put himself that, but of course, even though we are looking at the fact that both teams are still 0-0, there is still a lot of probabilities that we could be looking at, such as the difference in emblems and how that is going to be changing the game. Between the junglers, we're looking at Boxer that picked up the Demon Hunter, while on the other side from Team Slate, we have Gear that picked up Killing Spree. Yes, Killing Spree, not Demon Hunter, not High and Dry. It is Killing Spree. He does want to move on from one place to another. A lot of quality of life changes into how he will play as this Jawhead.
Yeah, he will definitely want to use that Jawhead to dive in the back line to eject one person. If that's a kill, he's able to go out. This Jawhead is playing more like an assassin. In the meantime, RSG, they're looking around at the bottom side. That is Diablo waiting in the bush, but he will be scouted out by the members of Slate.
The entirety of RSG, they would want to congregate themselves and of course get close to one another as soon as possible whenever the clock is online. But they also just can't move together too closely, especially since they do have a couple of heroes that can be pretty elusive and agile when it comes down to using movement skills, namely Diablo. But Diablo, knowing how Diablo plays, he's always going to be at the other side of the map and just not going to be part of the action.
Ejector connects on number 2, and here comes Sailor coming with the ultimate at the same time. Firefly is the one to pick up the first blood for now, and it's going to be Sailor. Oh dear lord, taking down Lozy at the same time. FMM on the other side of that. Cosmo Tang attracted on top of Baby Cakes, but the fight is not over yet. JBL will get aggressive upon, but Diablo, oh no, he's here. He's going in. I think he's trying to get activated, but FMM tried to peel for it. Will not be able to secure his teammate, no. But the members of RSG, they take a lot of kills, and also the turtle in the pocket.
A 3-4-2 trade, and as RSG has managed to find themselves on top in terms of value of kills as well as objective. A total of 2 turtles has been taken by RSG, putting themselves well over 2,000 gold on top of Slate. Game is definitely not over just yet, but with a peek on the items, we will have a better idea exactly what kind of composition that they're trying to go for exactly and what kind of game plan they are heading into.
Of course, looking at the items, you already see the Phobias already going in that clock. That means that, the Phobias will need some time, and time is definitely what Slate needs. But right now, it's all focused about making sure that they don't give too much structures away to RSG, maintaining that gold lead as close as possible and catching up during the mid-late games of that fight. But of course, Bray, RSG, Bray is rolling, man. He's going around the map, securing neutral objective. They're trying to get some, mid-game pressure using on top of Diablo, but JPL looking for some pick-off would not be able to find it. And for Slate, they need to go all in. Estes will heal it all the way up if you let him go, but okay, Diablo, oh, he's in trouble though. 2 members sticking on top of them, and they're picking that up. No way that Diablo will be able to get away.
Oh, no way, Jose. I gotta have to say, bottom lane is now completely clear, and Slate now has an advantage with a pressurizing lane in the bottom. RSG would want to open up ways in order to punish the rotations coming in from RSG as much as possible. So whatever it is, RSG's movements have to be reactive to Slate. So far, Estes hasn't quite been in the crux of the fights most of the time because, yes, he has been trying to go for babysits. But Slate, they are actively trying to avoid working around Lolzy, especially since the Blessing of the Moonlight Goddess is a really pesky mechanism to deal with.
Definitely, RSG, they're roaming as 4 or 5 at the same time. Slate, on the other hand, spreading out the whole map like thin layered tire. They're not even giving any form of, team fight opportunity for RSG. They're going around the side lane, sneaking up, ambushing. That's how Slate will be picking up here, but the flicker will be used. Firefly will get kicked, but remember, look at here. He's actually focusing on Turtle instead. Finally, there's one Turtle in the pockets of Slate, but RSG, the amount of healing going all the way in. But Diablo coming in for the side lanes. It is going to be Sailor jumping on the fight all fight for now. He's in a bit of trouble. He doesn't really have the purple shoes, but JBL will be one to fall, traded for Lozy.
Not too much of an action from Slate. I mean, yes, they did manage to push out quite a bit of impact, and they did manage to push all of the waves in from the top lane to the middle lane. RSG would have no choice and couldn't defend the top lane, and they finally have brought something down. There is definitely going to be expecting to see that the Furbius moving around, sorry, not Furbius, the Esmeralda that moved around a lot more now that he has the unlocked already.
Yeah, definitely has been unlocked, and not only just that, look at the gold, both are equal for now. Slate has caught up in that gold, slowly crawling all the way back in. The priority by JPL, oh no, he comes in from the backline, he kicks Diablo, doesn't get it, the crossbow tank gets activated, and Bray will get some fire as well. Lozy coming in to lend in some support, but it is gonna be that Diablo goes down at the bottom lane.
In the meantime, Adamir and Baby Cake
top lane. Oh no, that's no way you want to be. Unstoppable force to secure that kill at the top side as RSG, the side lanes are getting blasted.
Of course, Gear, no one pretty much knew that Gear was in of the brush. They really wanted to go for the fight, and of course, Baby Cake, knowing that he is a Claude, he does have the Art of Thievery, and as much as possible, the quick little switch with Dexter ought to get him out alive, but you gotta have to say, you gotta have to comment. Gear, he was being quite a ninja, and no one expected that he was gonna be there.
Yeah, the unstoppable force with the injector wombo combo is just so hard to deal with. And now RSG, they're losing the side lane pressure. RSG, they want to walk as 5, they want to work together, but Slate is splitting them apart. But if you split this kind of composition apart, Lozy can't provide them healing, and then, you know, RSG will just crumble.
Slate, they do have a lot of movements around the map, you know, a lot of mobility. As such, RSG will find it a little bit of difficulty in order to get themselves into the team fight that they really wanted. As such, turtling themselves out as much as possible, allowing the front line to actually take up some tank as far as possible. As such, they actually need Diablo in most of these fights, and they will lose all the invisible pressure that they are very used to having. Grouping themselves up like this, not exactly part of their game plan, but perhaps this time we may be able to see a difference, and the difference may be impactful. Starting it off, Bray is just going to be dancing around the lot.
Going in the crossbow tank, Firefly will be one, and Sailor follows it all the way up. The ultimate just, but Lozy, he's healing, he's making Sailor all the way back, but it's going to be Firefly picking up Mega Kill as well. JPL kicks Firefly to the wrong side of the map. 2 members down for the side of Slate. RSG trying to fight for a fighting chance. The blazing the way go all the way in, doesn't even connect on top of FMM for now, but RSG, this is the good fight for them.
Diablo puts himself into the faces of the enemies. Oh wait, hold on a second, not over Bray.
Oh no, Gear, where did you come from? Unstoppable force on top of Bray, and then all of a sudden you don't really have the retribution, and Slate will run away, perhaps with a Lord.
Endermere, they still want to push his attack up into the top lane and try to put on more pressure on the opposite sides of the lane. They know that they don't really have the opportunity to take up the Lord anymore. But here, he's still somewhere around the map.
Yep.
Bray, he did go down by the hands of Gear after all. So the Lord going down is understandably still gonna be it, despite having some of this advantage.
Yeah, but RSG, they're not out of the woods just yet. This Lord is still a baby Lord, but FMM is responding to the RSG push at the bottom side. It is Baby Cakes that need the farm and starts to need to split push. Yes, he is as flexible and as fluid as Diablo, but then again, do you really want to sacrifice a Claude to split push like this?
10 minutes and 40 seconds into the game, we are starting to see players starting to get kind of ramped up with 3 items and or more. Especially when it comes down to 1-1. 4 items has already been built up. The counterpart is going to be the Claude, which only have 3 full items built up. Well, both of these marksmen do have Wind of Nature for themselves, so it really comes down to skill-based strategy and of course how they would want to eventually put up a fight. RSG's way of putting up a fight is that they will always want to put someone in the front lines in order to tank as much as possible, putting Bray or Diablo as the bait. Whenever they realize that, look, Sayla is coming in, they do have the mobility, they will rush down or rather rush backwards in order to split Sayla away from the rest of the team, and that is where they will single one person out.
Ademir, the slow coming in for the Firefly. Ademir will be able to walk on away just now, but concealed play going in. JPL looking for some pick up. Firefly is the victim, but it's going to be Firefly using the purple shoes, and FMM, he shut down Firefly, and now the Lord is still standing. RSG, they need to try to defend using Estes, the Blessing of the Moon Goddess gear, looking for some pick up. JPL going all the way back in the front line, but tossing Sailor all the way to the front line instead. Slate will focus on the turret instead, and Sailor just racking havoc at the back line, but RSG, they are split up. Slate right now on a bit of hell. Diablo trying to make something work, but Sailor jumps into the air and misses Diablo for now, but Lozy, that's really healing for RSG, trying to hold FMM. Wind of Nature coming back in. RSG, they will not be able to pursue.
A steady push coming in from Slate, despite the fact that it only had 3 person and all of them were all on critical health. The top lane inhibitor turret ultimately went down, and Slate tried to buy even more time in order to push down the bottom lane and the middle lane all by themselves automatically. Slate have got a total of 7 turrets taken down already, and RSG, they are definitely having some difficulties. 3,000 gold deficit from them, and the best that they can do right now is open up the map as much as possible in order to flush out where JBL is. They need to deny all of this map control. They need to ensure that Slate doesn't have their eyes on them.
Yeah, JPL has been seeking all this information, right? Being so annoying to deal with. JPL is super slippery. Like, it's like fish. You're trying to hold it, but it keeps running away. And speaking about the fish, he catches Bray all the way back in, and I think he activated the crossbow attack. Bray is got a bit of damage, and now the massive limits from side RSG didn't have to force the Winter Trunket. Now FMM, oh, it's gonna be a 1-by-1, but Adamir is asking where are you gonna go. They're placing the win, a defensive one, but Sela will be able to shut Baby Cakes down, giving the double kill. And now Slate, 5-man strong versus RSG, 2-man only. And Slate, they can go for the Lord, they can also go for the end.
They are definitely going to the end. Slate only have 2 person to deal with, and it doesn't seem like they'll be
the
able to
king
do
going
quite
in,
much.
Diablo, nowhere to run. It's just Lozy left in the base, and Slate, they will pick up game number 1.